These are your wheeled tile nippers. These are ideal for cutting through glass, for cutting stained glass, and also great for cutting crockery. Today I'm going to show you how to cut through some vitreous glass tiles. Put your hands round the bottom of the handles so you get a full grip and a full snip when you're just about to make your cut. This is a vitreous glass tile. What you're going to do is you're going to pop it in between the wheels, like so, and then just gently squeeze, and it'll cut right through. You can do them in rectangles, you can do squares, triangles. Pop them down diagonally on your square, cut through, and you'll get a triangle. And then square, cut through your rectangle, and you'll get your square. What I'd like to show you is how to place your tiles effectively onto your board when you're creating your mosaic. For an indoor mosaic, we're using PVA glue, which is what you'll get in one of my kits. You're putting your glue on, make sure it's really quite thick. Your glue will dry clear, but then you're going to grout it, so you're not going to see any glue at the end when it's complete. So a nice thick layer for your tiles to sink into. Now the PVA glue takes quite a few hours to dry, but when it does dry it's very strong. So your vitreous glass tiles, they've got a bumped side and a smooth side. It's the bumped side that goes down into the glue, and that's what helps it adhere to the board, like so. If you put your tiles the other way, although it does look pretty when you've got the bumps showing, sometimes it gives a nice effect. What happens when you come to grout it, when you come to grout your mosaic, all the grout will stick into the bumps, and it's not such a great look. When you're snipping your vitreous glass tiles, I would say a maximum of about 3 snips. Otherwise the tiles get too small and then they won't stick properly to your board. Okay, so I've got some squares, some triangles, which we're going to pop on the board. I just want to show you the sort of spacing that we're looking for. So the gaps between your tiles, this is where your grout will fill when your mosaic's complete. And it's the grout that makes your mosaic really strong. So when you're placing your tiles, just a small gap between them, enough for the grout to slip into. Like so. Quite often when people are starting out creating mosaics, they put the gaps between the tiles quite far apart, and what happens is when you come to grout your mosaic, there ends up being an awful lot of grout taken over your picture. When you put your tiles close together, then you get a more solid colour when your mosaic's complete. That sort of size of spacing. When you're sticking your mosaic tiles onto your board, you want to make sure that none of your tiles are hanging off the edge of the board. You can leave a little bit of a lip, and then you'll get a nice grout line around the outside which kind of frames your overall mosaic. So we're looking for that sort of spacing between your tiles when you come to, once you've placed everything, that'll give you a nice grout line when it's complete.